In China, people stayed at home. Europe went into full lockdown.
While many parts of the US did close for a while, a large part of the mentality here was simply do as you wish.
According to a Pew survey, only 15% of people outside of America think the US has done a good job of dealing with the outbreak. And by all accounts, they'd be right. The number of cases here represents 20% of the total COVID cases globally, even though Americans represent just 5% of the world population. But some argue the US has just decided the economy is more important than shutting down to contain a public health outbreak.
Our country wasn't built to be shut down. This is not a country that was built for this. It was not built to be shut down.
Which begs the question, is any country built for a shutdown?
Technically, no, not really. But some countries can actually withstand a shutdown much better than the US. Let's compare America to Italy. Italy has a high savings rate compared to other industrialized nations, which simply means they can stay at home and not be as concerned about going to work to make money.
In America, we get a car at age 16, and then we have to get a job to pay for that car, and our gas and car insurance, and we have to have a car so we can get to our job.
Many of us move out at age 18 and start paying rent. Again, compare that to Italy, where 2/3 of Italians ages 18 to 34 still live with their parents. In America, from an early age, we begin consuming, and one study even found that nearly 4 in 5 are living paycheck to paycheck.
The number of jobs, almost 160 million. So we can't turn that off and think it's going to be wonderful. There'll be tremendous repercussions, probably more death from that than anything that we're talking about with respect to the virus.
The US is considered a heavily consumption-driven economy, so if you don't consume, the economy doesn't grow.
In the US alone, 1% rise in unemployment, 40,000 people dead. Lower life expectancies, people that cannot feed their families.
That's James Asquith. He's a world traveler and former investment banker. He thinks that people need to weigh both sides. There's public health, and then there's the economic impact of staying at home.
Staying home will also kill people. Like, that's a fact. You know, people cannot feed themselves, and paycheck to paycheck is the US economy. You know, 6 million people couldn't pay their rent last month, 26 million people couldn't pay their student loans. You have a country right now that's 72 million people in the workforce in the US are millennials who hold 5% of the wealth. They don't have savings to sit back and say, oh, we can stay at home.
But remember, to break it down between public health versus economic activity is really just oversimplifying it.
A Goldman Sachs report found that if the US mandated face masks for everyone, it could potentially substitute for renewed lockdowns that would otherwise subtract nearly 5% from GDP.
While face masks in the US have become highly politicized, it's not the only reason that the case count here is so high.
In places like China and Japan, they've managed to handle the pandemic exceptionally well. In addition to cultural norms of following rules, it also comes down to their governments too. You see, in America, we're highly decentralized. You have federal government, state government, city government, local government. In the US, different government entities decide when to reopen. A restaurant here might be takeout only, but 20 miles away, it's open for dining. The US economic recovery will take a long time, even with a vaccine. In fact, the US economy is on track to shrink by nearly 3% this year, and Moody's says the country won't recover the 22 million jobs that were lost until 2024.
There really is going to be no economy left for most people. What we're going to see is generation nothing. For 15 to 30-year-olds, like, what do you do after this?
Hey guys, it's Uptin. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know in the comments which is more important to you, containing the outbreak or saving the economy. While you're at it, subscribe to my channel, find me online at Uptin.